Marvel Comics presents number 78. The main draw here is Weapon X. Beautiful Barry Windsor-Smith cover. This was published in 1991. And I have a few of these issues, and these issues are getting a little bit more expensive. I remember a year ago, I was able to pick up several of them in good shape for $2. And at the con I went to last month, this was $5. But it's in really good shape. But still, you're talking about 150% increase in price for a comic that you could be able to find in the dollar bins with no problem before. So the reason I really picked this up is that I do have a few of these issues, so I think I am low-key doing a collection of them. But the reason I did pick this up is because Barry Windsor-Smith has long requested Marvel to do a reprint of this book, but to do it on either newsprint or some type of paper that would emulate newsprint so that the coloring that was on the reprint would match the appearance it is here. Because Barry Windsor-Smith has long stated that he did the coloring for newsprint, and when you use the same coloring on the better quality paper, the white glossy paper, it's too bright and it's too saturated. And he's asked Marvel, and Marvel's just blowing him off time after time. I know they did a recent one based on the original plates, but that still appears to be highly colorized. So I was just curious. I said, you know what? This is really good shape. Let me just pick up an issue. I'm at the con. This was $5, like I said. Great art. And I said, let me see how that compares to a recent reprint. So I'm going to focus on this page. Now, when I was in Paris last year, I found a hardcover reprint in French of Weapon X. This was €7. It's a great little hardcover. So I'm just going to compare these two pages. And I know here's a little yellowing, but you can really see like his point, because everything here is just more pink, it's more blue, everything is just so much more saturated. And I think like this, it almost like it's almost too colorful when you compare side to side. I mean, this looks great, but here you can really, it's almost like the colors here are almost like bombarding you a little bit, and here you can actually focus more on the line work and the inking and all this great detail. Here's another page, and I think this one is actually more indicative, because here they're light blue like a computer screen. Here they're all dark blue. I mean, this doctor here is white. Dr. Cornelius's jacket is white, but here it's white. It's mostly blue from the light and then white. And here the skin is really pink, where here it's more like skin tone. And even here, this is a light green and this is like a dark green. It's really interesting just to see how the paper, I never really thought about it until, or really even knew about it until a few years ago, how much the paper really impacts how it looks. Here's another page where the blues are very pronounced, so are the greens, the yellows, all the colors are just very saturated. And I sort of like this approach better, only because I know nowadays everybody wants all the colors to pop and it looks to be really saturated, but at the same time, the colors almost detract a little bit from all this glorious art. I don't think it kills the comic at all, but I just find it really fascinating. And here's the last page. It's just kind of interesting. So that was really it. It was just more of a compare and contrast. I love them both. I have the trade in English and now the trade in French, and I have about half the series, I would say, in individual issues. So looking forward to finding more, and that's really it. Just wanted to kind of show that off. But before I finish, I just wanted to show off the cover, because the covers are all included in this hardcover edition. And I just want to see how the covers are. And it's actually funny because when the cover is reprinted, in this case, the cover is more saturated than this page in the trade paperback, and you would think it would have been the opposite. So I think Marvel can desaturate these things if they really wanted to, but for whatever reason, they don't want to put the time into it or whatever. But it is possible, because this is actually looks more like the comic that was printed in 1991 than this cover. And I'm assuming that this is more saturated because it is glossy paper, so it's going to pick up the colors and make them more vibrant. I just find it kind of funny that this is the one page here that it's actually flipped. It's just kind of interesting. This is kind of nerd stuff, but I enjoy it, and I love this series. I'm a huge Barry Windsor-Smith fan. So I hope you appreciate your patience with this, and I hope you got some kind of something out of it. Anyway, thanks, and have a great day.